Well, I'm gonna lean back in my chair and just get lazy and comfy as for this. Who saw what Jay Schlatt did? Who saw what Jay Schlatt did on his Twitch stream? First time streaming in 2 years. Who saw what he did? The mass ban? In case you haven't seen it, I'll show it to you right now. So this is what he did.
We made a bot to scrape every single Twitch account that had Carl Jacobs not found, was taken in it. All of them. Every single one. And we've got a bot who's going to go through all of these commands live. Gentlemen, if you are part of the lucky few who will remain after this purge, I don't know what to say, gentlemen, but this is what it's all about. You never come back, all of you. Every single last one of you. I never want to see you ever again on this Twitch stream. This is mine. And there's no way any of you are going to come in here with these bull-ass usernames and try and take my show away from me. This is tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, by the way, in this document. All gone. Like that. It feels almost freeing in a way, you know? Because, a lot of people were saying, oh, this chat's going to be so bad. It's going to be such a bad chat. What are we going to do? What are we going to do, guys? Oh, this chat's going to be so cringe. Well, not... Let me tell you something, gentlemen. Not anymore. Not anymore. Were you here for the purge? Oh, dear Lord. I'm hard after that.
So there were some totally normal reactions, as you could see in the thread here. He should live stream his side next. Can someone do the world a favor and get rid of this man? I think this means trigger warning Jay Schlatt. I don't know what NEG means. Does this mean negative? Ew. Anyways, dream go live. Oh, keep yourself safe. Yeah, so I saw this and I had a few thoughts, and I'll be real with you. They were not good thoughts. One thing for sure, I want to state this right now before we get into talking about this. In this talk, I'm not going to address any thoughts, feelings, or opinions that I have towards people that identify as a stan account or a stan for whatever community. At this point, you know, if that's what you choose to do, then, you know, by all means, spend your time that way. Who am I to say otherwise? When I saw that, I got sad. And part of the reason I got sad is because I first was curious, and I thought immediately after seeing that video was that, oh wow, Jay Schlatt, Tommy Innit, you know, Dream, George Not Found. Like, I didn't realize he had beef with all those other content creators. I didn't realize that he had issues with all of the other Minecraft people. I didn't know that. And then I found out that they're actually good friends, and that they have no beef, and that he did that because he did not like the way that the Minecraft stans talked in his chat. Even though the people that were stans were fans of all of his friends. And it made me feel very sad. And I'll give you a reason why it made me feel sad. It made me question, number one, is Jay Schlatt really friends with the other Minecraft content creators, or are they friends out of convenience? Which is a huge thing that a lot of content creators question and ask themselves when doing collaborations or operating in social circles involving other people. Are they friends, or is this a mutually beneficial relationship? Because if they are friends, wouldn't a friend take the time to tell their community, hey, you're being rude to my friend. Stop being rude to my friend. That's normally something that you would say, right? If you were friends, you'd give that courtesy. And some people might have examples and might even have clips of people or of those streamers, you know, Tommy and Knit, Dream, Someone Not Found, I don't know all the Minecraft accounts, but of all of those people saying, actually, we have said something. We have said to our stands, hey, stop that. Hey, don't do that. We don't appreciate that behavior. Stop it. You're cringe. You're gross. Don't do that. And then you as a viewer could say, they try. You just can't control the stands. It's not possible. And that's why Jay Schlatt took it upon himself to get rid of the problem on his own terms, in his own way. And part of the reason why it made me sad is because people say, you just can't control stands. Something that I can't help but think about when people say, you can't control stands is this one example. 5 or 6 years ago, if anybody remembers, Offline TV and Friends had a shipping problem. And you could call it a problem, or from a money perspective and a business perspective, you could call it a opportunity. And what I mean by that is this. A long time ago, the Offline TV and Friends fans, who did have a lot of stand-like behavior back then, before they were really called stands or labeled as stands, what they would do is they would like come up with these couple names and these ship names of different people within the friend group. And they would always say like, oh my God, what if this person and this person, this person and this person, they like create like these fan fictions and these stories. And it got pretty out of control because at some point, you know, people started to stalk them, you know, and they'd make discords calling out where certain streamers were at certain points of the day in real life. And a lot of this hype and a lot of this energy that was centered around individuals in the friend group that were being shipped brought them a lot of viewership. It brought them a lot of viewership. However, it also brought them a lot of mental distress. Eventually, what happened is the friend group got so tired of it and it became such a mental drain that as a group, they realized that they had to tell everyone to stop. They had to tell everybody, stop the shipping. We don't want to see any of this ever again. It has taken a mental toll on us. It is affecting our friendships in real life. We don't want to see it anymore. And as a group, we're not condoning it ever again. And now a lot of people might wonder, well, why didn't they just do that at the beginning? Why didn't they just tell people to stop that? And I can only guess and imagine that part of those things was, well, they realized that that shipping energy that came from all of that hype created behind all the hype and mystere around who's dating who brought in a lot of viewers. And so they realized that, you know, if we do this, you know, if we say, hey, you know, stop doing that, it might affect viewership. And we're getting a lot of viewers right now. And so they probably capitalized on it. There's probably a little bit that happened to that until it got to the point where it wasn't worth it. And then they had to say, hey, stop. And now, if you pay attention to the Offline TV and Friends viewership and that community, if anyone ever starts shipping to people that aren't dating, they tell them to stop. Even if they are dating, they tell them stop. Don't do that. If a viewer starts to do it in chat, other viewers will call out those viewers and be like, hey, you're being weird right now. Don't do that. That's a violation of their privacy. Shut the fuck up. It's like the community has been trained to behave a certain way when they see that now at this point. It's like they completely 180'd and they're not this, they don't act or operate the same anymore because the entire streamer group addressed the fans and said, this is not okay anymore. You can't do this. And they changed their behavior. And so when you say that you can't change stands or you can't affect stands, I'm not inclined to believe that, because I saw one very real and tangible example that still exists and works today with Offline TV and Friends. That was like 5 or 6 years ago, and 5 or 6 years have passed and they still don't allow that stand shit. And so what I have observed and what is really painful for me to see in terms of the social dynamic between streamers is this silent awareness to figure out when, as someone who is a part of a group or is perceived to be a part of a group for online content creators, when they have to realize that, you know what, I can't expect my friends to bite the hand that feeds them and tell their super hyper stan-like followers to stop being mean to me, because once they address that, it might put them in a bad light and it might affect how much money they make. It might affect their viewership and their job. However, sometimes there are other instances where the communities of streamers will tell the community of viewers to stop and not do that. And what makes me sad is this dance that is never explicitly talked about At least, you know, from not what I've seen. It probably does get talked about behind the scenes. But this dance that happens of where like, am I important enough? Do I matter enough? Are we friends enough to have this conversation of like, hey, this is really bothering me. Can you do something about it? Or do you just silently think to yourself, you know what? I'm not important enough. I don't think we're that close of friends. I guess I'll just sit here and shut the fuck up and let people berate me and I'll feel bad, but at least my friend or mutually beneficial relationship will still exist and work with me. I just have to deal with the bullshit. That's why I look at what Jay Schlatt did, and a lot of people could say, I respect the hell out of him. He's such a man. I think what he did is ballsy. I think what he did is interesting, but there is a part of me that looks at Jay Schlatt and goes, damn, I understand the stakes are high in the Minecraft streaming circle because they're making millions of dollars, but it saddens me because I feel like he had to make a decision, or he felt like he should make a decision for himself because he's not important enough to have the other streamers say, stop being a dickhead to my friend. And I don't think in any situation ever, even if there are millions of dollars involved, where it feels good at any point, or it doesn't not feel like shit when you're not more important than someone's wallet. When your feelings and how you feel are not more valid than the amount of money or hype or clout that someone is acquiring. It really sucks having to play this dance of like money, friends, back and forth between like you and other people. Cause like me personally, I want streamer friends, you know, I really do, because it feels good when you have other people who are walking the same path as you, and you can look over to your left and you can look over to your right and be like, what's up, man? How you doing? You know, and they can talk and they can look over at you and say, I'm doing all right. How are you? You know, because like I said, content creation is lonely. I've said that so many times. Even though you stream to hundreds, thousands, however many people, it does feel like a lonely job. And when you have to walk that path alone, it's even more miserable. And what could make it even more miserable than that is when you think you're not walking it alone, but when you realize that you might be, because at the end of the day, money is something that people are going to be worrying about. And that if you bother someone or get in their way because of how well they're doing, that they might realize that maybe you're a liability and not someone worth collabing with, you know, it feels worse. All I'm trying to say at the end of the day is trying to navigate things socially amongst other streamers is really, really hard. And there are a lot of levels to it. And I know Jay Schlatt's going to be fine. Don't call him. He's not crying. But, you know, I feel a little bit bad.